What's up? I am Chelsea. This is my coffee, and this is Coffee with Chelsea, a podcast. Okay, so this week I have two ladies on that know how to party. I think you noticed we are dressed up, party bows, party tiaras, party hats. It is podcasting with Homebound Happy Hour. Maybe you've heard of them. These are two awesome Fort Myers society ladies that decided during COVID, we're still going out to the bar and having our fun and getting our gossip on. So they have an Instagram Live, Facebook Live, weekly happy hour event. And thank you so much for being on. I got Liz and Stephanie. Ladies, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
We are super excited to be here. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, so obviously the first question, what made you guys decide to do the Homebound Happy Hour? Like, I guess, what would you call it? Like live video cast, virtual happy hour?
Stephanie and I, if I may, I would say that Stephanie and I have toyed with the idea of doing something together like this. Maybe not a happy hour, but maybe a talk show or something, but it inevitably always involved having a cocktail. When COVID happened, when we were all starting to quarantine, I have two kids. My husband and I have two children. And while they're a little bit older, a lot of our friends were really suffering online. And I started reading children's books online and started calling it Make Lemonade with Liz.
Oh, nice.
And then I said, well, this is fun, but not that much fun. I really should be doing Make Spiked Lemonade with Liz. So I sent that to Stephanie and I said, I can't do this alone. And she said, we're on it. And then I said, you come up with the title. And she said, Homebound Happy Hour, here we go. And it was perfect. You know, it was, we've been doing this professionally since 1988. So
what, drinking or being on air?
Being together and having happy hours.
Well, I was going to say that Liz and I used to work together years ago, and I was a PD of a radio station, and she was my voice imaging person. So we used her on the air a lot. Like sometimes on the morning show or whatever, she'd come in and just banter, and she's just always so great with that. And so it seemed like a natural thing to do. We started out with Instagram. And because we couldn't figure out how to do Facebook Live with two
hosts.
And we couldn't figure out Zoom. Good for you for figuring this out, because we didn't have the technology. So we started out on Instagram, where you can do Instagram Live, but it was a little bit complicated in the sense that we started having guests on. We thought that would be fun. But the guests were on the phone like this. So Liz was basically holding her phone.
Back in the old days.
Back a few months ago.
She was holding her phone with the audio of the guests. And then when people were commenting on the show, my face was down here by the comments. So you couldn't really see me, just the comments.
Oh my goodness.
And then we found a great program called BeLiveTV.com that we use now.
Right. Oh, okay, cool.
Facebook.
And it's funny because I think a lot of people started doing things like this. A lot of celebrities started, having gatherings or whatnot. And then all of a sudden we started seeing more people on Be Live. We started seeing more people doing Zoom, which what you're using. We started seeing people then, they created this Facebook chat room. And so we haven't used that. We've stayed on this platform, but we also are just a smidgy older than the people on Instagram. So we felt like our target audience was more Facebook.
Smidgy.
Right. So then Homebound Happy Hour. So how'd you kind of come up with that name, Stephanie?
It was just off the cuff. We're bound at home, and it's happy hour. So it's
and we love alliteration.
Oh, who doesn't?
I do love alliteration.
We do love alliteration.
I think that's like a media thing. Like all these people in the media, you always hear like, wait, is it like several of the same letters all in? Yes. Yeah. Let's call it
worked really well. Lemonade with Liz and Homebound Happy Hour. I mean, it just all kind of rang together.
Coffee with Chelsea.
And nothing really worked with Stephanie and Liz. Like we couldn't get that going. So at one point, we didn't think one of us would actually survive the quarantine. So we didn't want to put our name titles in the title. So if one of us were, suddenly couldn't come back, we could use a fill-in.
That's a little dark, ladies. Just in case one of us totally like kaputsies during the quarantine COVID. No, but how have you noticed your audience change then? Because at first you start, and obviously like all your friends tune in, and then have you gained like people that are beyond your friend list on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah, to a degree, I think so. I mean, Liz still goes on Instagram before each show just to let the Instagram people know we've moved over to Facebook. So she'll do a quick little live and say, join us over on Facebook. So, we had
And
a
I
lot
think
of
that's worked. I think some people travel with us over. Some people
Yeah.
really don't understand how to find us on Homebound Happy Hour on Facebook, even though they are Facebook people. I think so. What we ended up doing this past couple of times, Stephanie, is we started sharing our live Facebook on Homebound Happy Hour onto our own personal pages so that people that don't know how to find us could actually find us, which in truth ended up making our viewership kind of escalate. And then all of these have been public. So a lot of people are sharing them, and that's turned into something, you know, we've had a couple of really great things happen. And Stephanie, I don't know if you're wearing yours today, but I have on my faux eyelashes that were sent to us in the mail.
Yes, you do.
So I put on my faux eyelashes today because someone sent us, we've gotten some lovely things. We had faux eyelashes that are magnetic sent. We've had nail polish sent. We've had
chocolate.
Norman Love was on and sent unbelievable chocolates. And so that's been fun. We're going to do a wine and cheese tasting with someone this week. And so I have to say that aspect of it, I can see how celebrities get caught up in swag bags really easily.
Right? If anyone wants to
out
send
there watching it,
your coffee, you know, just come on.
If you have it. And this mug came from Lulu's in Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, nice. This, I don't know where this mug came from, but it says Starbucks and it's tall. So it has a lot of coffee. That's what it holds. And that's why it's so good. It's like one of the best mugs I own easily.
I love that. The bar in downtown Fort Myers.
So now that things are reopening, are we moving happy hour out of the home?
I'm never leaving my home again.
No. We did change things when we went into phase 1 reopening. We had been doing Homebound Happy Hour every Tuesday and Thursday. So we changed it to just every Tuesday because we felt like people were getting out more. And also, gotta be honest, I don't know how often you do coffee with Chelsea, but it got to be a little bit of work. And
it was so much work to put this face on twice a week.
That's hard. And hair.
I can't do that.
And then we have
That's why you start podcasting first, because then you don't have to do any of that with a podcast. And now that I do the visual part, I get you. And, you know, it comes out, I do, you know, one once a week. So I get it. Because it's not only looking good, but then you got to, like you said, you're adding guests to it. So you're like actually seeing something that was started kind of like a side hustle during COVID, just really a boredom killer, is actually becoming like a thing you do. Isn't that like
it was work? Yeah, it was work, but it's all been good. Fun. But I was also trying to homeschool 2 kids and cook 27,000 meals a day for these people that want to eat in my home, and they're sick of cheese and crackers. So I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm a cook. I also felt like all of a sudden, because, you know, my husband's been home more often, I had to look like I get up early and then I like kind of move my body during the day. I tried to fake like I work out a little bit.
This is clean now.
And then, you know, I think at one point he looked at me and was like, I thought you knew how to do this. And I apparently don't know how to do any of this. I mean, our house was so gross at one point. He was like, let's, as a family, try to help you today.
So I have gotten into, my boyfriend has been going to work. He's an essential person. So he's been going to work through everything. And then we've been fostering dogs. This is one of my little fosters right now. Darla, Doghouse Rescue Academy. But I too have become like this like housewife girlfriend thing.
Right.
It's like I like think every day like, oh, I need to do the dishes real quick. I need to toss in a load. And then I started getting into gardening, and it was like detrimental to my, like, the rain has been killing all my flowers. I'm like, stop raining. My flowers can't take it. It's the weirdest thing ever, because, you know, I'm like normally out on Friday nights, like normally Thursday nights too, and like being social and talking to a bunch of people. I don't got time for plants. And now it's weird to even think about leaving the house. Like I told my boyfriend, I said, I'm so used to now chilling inside on the weekend. Like, I don't know if I can transition back.
I mean, my husband was like, I think we should just buy a farm in Utah and churn butter, because we have turned it into like total, we're both cancers. So we're real homebodies. And so is Stephanie. She's a Cancer as well. So we do talk about this because we love our nests so much. And it has been difficult for me because at times I haven't liked my nest while I've been home. And I've been like, oh my gosh, I've got to make these spaces more livable. So we've been doing a little bit of that as well.
Oh, nice. Reorganizing. But I mean, it is nice to go out. Like I did go out. The Deck Bar had like a private party where they invited like a bunch of their regulars. And I'm not going to lie, we were out there on a Friday night and like taking some pickleback shots. And y'all, I was like, I miss this. Like, you know, you don't miss it a little bit. Like, I know that you're probably going to have one at least out and about, maybe like a few weeks down the line. How are y'all feeling about things opening?
I feel like I'm still, you know, Stephanie and I talk about this quite a bit because a lot of our friends are socializing. I'm still caring for a child with asthma and my parents are octogenarians and, you know, we see them. So we take a lot of things into consideration. We both have health issues. I think we're really looking at that. So I would say we err on the side of caution a little bit more than the average Joe at our household. However, I do notice because I have been going to Target all masked up. And today I was like, hey, like I'm talking to strangers and I know they're like, you should back off. I'm like, how are you? Great to see you. Oh my gosh. I miss you. And they're like, you don't know me. I'm like, I know. Friend. No, I don't.
Well, I think a lot of people, what I've had personally is a lot of people are concerned about me that I'm like, you know, holed up in the fetal position in my house.
Or they're mad at us.
Or they're annoyed with this. I mean, my job before COVID hit was to go and cover festive, sparkly events and take pictures and write about them. And most of these events were fundraisers and, you know, formal events and big to-dos and that kind of thing. And those things aren't happening. So what I've learned about myself is, you know, all of those things were fun and they were great and I got to get dressed up, but I was also working. So I've learned that I apparently don't like to leave the house unless I'm getting paid.
Right.
Put that shit on a shirt. Like that's your shirt right there.
That's a great shirt.
There was a model. She said, who's a model? Linda Evangelista said in the 90s or something that she wouldn't get out of bed for less than $10,000 a day or something.
I love her. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that sounds fair.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
Yeah, you want me to go out and pay me. I feel like that is great advice.
I mean, by this point, like they may as well start paying us to go out. They need us to go out more than anything. And like they've all trained us now that we can just go to the grocery store, pick up stuff. I've been learning how to make cocktails with those Wicked Dolphin cocktail hours. Like we can make our own pina coladas now. I'm like, we're pretty self-sufficient. We made our own beer during lockdown. I mean,
I love that.
It was awesome. It was a cool process.
I'm too spoiled for a bar pour these days. A corporate pour is not going to work for me.
What did you call it that time we went out and you asked Sam at Twisted Vine? You said we need a conversation pour.
Yeah.
Did you say we need a conversation pour?
We need well, I usually call it a conversation splash. So like you're almost done with
a conversation splash.
Yes. Another glass of wine. Yeah. You just want a conversational splash.
Just like a hit more for sure. I mean, but so you live downtown, don't you, Stephanie, in that area? So have you seen downtown like starting to get busier? How's that transition been?
Weird. I mean, when it first started, it was like, going downtown was almost like just driving through downtown.
It was a ghost town.
Walked downtown, and it was like, it was surreal. It was almost like a apocalyptic in a way. It was like a horror movie. It was bizarre. All of the tables that are downtown for the outdoor restaurants were taken in. You didn't see a lot of people at all. Really, truly, like maybe 3 or 4 people as you walk through the main stretch of downtown. And now, I mean, it's on. I mean, I drive through downtown.
Game on.
Oh my gosh.
Is it like normal? Downtown, I thought there's supposed to be social distancing.
Oh, no.
It's oddly normal.
No masks, no social distancing.
No masks.
Everybody's, it's
People
bad.
just licking each other all down First
Pretty
Street.
much.
No, I'm kidding.
Licking. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's
COVID
new.
is over. I mean, for some people. I
Sounds
guess.
super fun. Like, can I go to
Mhm.
that lick parade? Like, what's up with that? No, that
Yeah.
sounds terrible. Well, actually, I went to Bass Pro not like last weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend, and we go there, and I mean, it was the same thing. There was like hardly any masks. Like even at the register, like people were on top of each other. And I haven't been super paranoid about it. I did have a scare. Actually, I had to go get tested. Somebody I know was exposed. And they were like, just to be safe. And I came back negative, just so I'm COVID negative, everybody. It's all good. But it did make me a lot more conscious, especially like in those situations that I'm like, oh, these people think that it's Memorial Day sales, like game on. And, you know, it's weird to see how many people are like, you could tell the people who were saying like, all this is stupid. Now they're out in stores because they're just like diving in the tanks and not wearing any mask anymore.
I was going to ask if you dove in the tank. I kind of want to do that. I'm not going to lie. That looked kind of cool.
Do you see those fish? Those things are massive. I get terrified if a manatee pops up next to me. Like, girl.
Yeah, no.
Those things got teeth.
That's true.
I am playing that.
You know, it is interesting what you're saying though about this, you know, the group of people going out. And I think also with the protesting, we're even seeing people are really close together. And, you know, so I'm all for all of that, you know, do whatever you want to do. I just hope we're all careful and being safe. Cause I do see that we are in an area where our numbers are rising. So we're just going to keep on drinking as long as you know, we're safe. I feel very good about drinking at home.
They said that alcohol, 70% and above alcohol kills it. So, I mean, we're mostly good. That's why Wicked Dolphin, you know, they switched over a lot of their processing. I actually got to go see it, and they do the hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
It also smells like rum. So it's a little tricky.
Nice. I like that. I actually like that.
They actually have it on tap. So the way they have people fill it up is they just hit the tap, and you just fill up a giant jar. And then you pour it in the little ones. And I'm like, can I get
Stephanie, we should have them on. That would be great. We never even thought about them. We should have them.
Oh, yeah. Do a rum tasting.
Yeah. My mother is like, I don't think this was a good idea for you to be drinking all the time, every day.
And then you're like, the government told me I had to stay home.
And then you had to homeschool. I had to, and then I had to get a job. So this is my new job. I do tell my family that I'm going to work, which is kind of funny because I'm not really, but this is what mommy does now for work.
On Wednesdays is when I always think I have COVID, because after happy hour, I always have a hangover, and I wake up and I go, okay, now quit being paranoid. It's Wednesday. You always have a little bit of a hangover.
She tells me every Wednesday, oh my gosh, guess what I got last night? I'm like, no, you have a hangover.
That'd be the first
hangover. You don't have COVID.
To get COVID over a Zoom chat or a Be Live chat. And they would have to like put you in the hospital, Stephanie, to like really see what was going on.
COVID symptoms and hangover symptoms are very similar. So
they are very similar.
It is crazy though. So like everything is opening. You guys are going to obviously keep doing this and having fun. Who's been like some of your favorite guests that you've had on?
Steph?
Well, I mean, I loved, we had a psychic on that was,
I think that was amazing.
Her name was Mary Rose, and she was just incredible. And she basically read Liz over, we've had so many good
and
guests.
I didn't ask her to read me. Like she just like
she
started like
she didn't. She just
twitching, and like people were online going, I think she feels.
She just keyed into something with Liz, and it was
she said some things that were pretty unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah. She really.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was amazing. Also, we had Dr. Marlene Moulton, who is she's our doctor, but she's also just a great doctor in town. And she talked about COVID, and she talked about, her background and all that. But she also, that was a long one. People had so many questions.
Oh my gosh. We should actually have her on again now.
You're right.
Well, yeah, especially since things are opening. That's like, this is an important time, you know?
Yeah.
I would say every single guest we've had has been great because they've all been so different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very different. That's true.
I mean, really different. We had Terry on. He spoke about Marilyn Manson, and I mean, we've just had
CBD. He owns the Seed and Bead Market. He's part owner with that.
Yeah.
Just in case people don't know.
Amazing. Yeah. And so he had so many great things to say about getting his nails done because he wasn't able to get his nails done. And so like, we've just had some really great guests. Stephanie and I are going to have our fathers on, which should be really interesting as we get closer to Father's Day. But we had my mom on when we were back on Old School, and we called my mother, and she had a few choice words, which are always really great advisory words from a mother's point of view. So that was fun. And then we could hang up on her, which is even more fun. So yeah, there was that.
One of my favorite guests y'all had was Francesca Donnellan, who did the kindness class.
Amazing.
She actually adopted one of my first fosters, Ray. Her name is Ray, the dog, Ray the Rescue.
Aww.
And Francesca and I have just stayed friends throughout it. But
she was amazing.
Oh, it's such an important class, like to have a message. So I loved that one. That one was so fun. And what a great message you guys got to like put out there. And like, I'm glad
that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, you're using your connections and your platform really to like spread a positive message, which is so important, especially right now,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone's entitled to an opinion and how they feel politically or inside of themselves right now. But I really think our core feeling, and you would probably agree, is as long as you do it with kindness and you're not out to hurt someone else, and you really are thinking about somebody who might think differently than you do while you're saying what you want to get across, that will be the most effective way to do it. And I just feel like that's a really important message right now. But I'm also happy for the people that want to scream it to the rooftops and do whatever they want to. But I think there's, we all, Stephanie and I are very different people. I'm kind of we need to clean the bedroom before we go on live. I've got to make sure all my ducks are in a row. And Stephanie has always been my, nope, we're just, flying by the seat of our pants kind of girl. And so, and my activist friend, she's got a loud voice too, but, at a time where we have so many people that you want to reach out to and say important things, I find that the most effective way to do that is do it in a way that they're going to listen to you and not shut that door to not listen. And that's what we've got to do. And I think the peaceful protesting is working. Yeah. I really do. I'm so excited about that because I really believe that voices are finally kind of being heard.
Yeah. So, and it's good that we're in the media for peaceful protesting. I mean, let's talk about the Naples, the one that just came out of Naples, that picture of the sheriff that joined hands like with the protesters. And like Steph, how did that make you feel?
I just got chills when you said it, and I've seen it 3 times today.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, it's funny. I mean, when we first started this, Liz and I talked about it, and she was funny. She said, now, no politics.
We have rules.
Same. Because I can tend to, we have rules. I can tend to go there. But it's been an interesting evolution of what it started out. It started out as we're just going to be happy-go-lucky middle-aged ladies drinking up a storm and talking about, our makeup and our eyebrows and, and this and that, the other thing. And we really have gotten to where we have been talking about current events. We've been talking about the politicizing of the mask wearing. We've been talking about, obviously, what's been going on for the past week, with civil rights and the protesting. And we've definitely, we've gone there in some areas. And I found that when we do go there, that's better. Where I see the comments on our page say, thank you for talking about this. We love hearing this. We love this. And
from such just a really at-home perspective, not a news media source or not.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't, and Stephanie and I, we both have friends that are all over the place. I mean, I have a list of friends that probably don't agree with anything I say. And I have a list of friends who love me to death. But in the end, when we get together, I think that Stephanie and I are able to relate to people that we might not think exactly alike. And maybe if we can open up a window, just a tiny little place to say, wait a second, think about this, because we're trying to think about that. Like, let's
think what it is.
Conversation.
is that you speak your truth. And like when you speak your truth, people want to listen to it. And when you talk about polarizing topics, I even saw this when I did all my radio stuff, when I would talk about polarizing topics, even if it was something as small as like, you know, a local law here in Cape Coral or Fort Myers, people would either be totally for it or totally against it. But the point is to get them talking. And you're right. Like, since y'all get to speak your truth and y'all get to get people talking, and y'all preach doing it in such a respectful way, which is so incredibly, you know, that's important. You just can't push.
Well, we have
negativity.
a really phenomenal friend list. And I think we have ages. We don't have a lot of really young people in our Facebook friends, but I would say, let's call it seniors in high school, all the way up to seniors in their late 80s and early 90s. And so we have this broad senior gap of people that think very differently. And they're always in my mind because I have kids and I have parents. And so I have this dichotomy in my own conversations in my own home a lot. And I think that's really good to think about, because in order to get people to listen to you, you have to it's almost child psychology. You have to keep those lines of conversation open. You have to make it so they want to listen to you. You know, the last thing you're going to do is offend somebody. They're going to turn you off in 5 seconds, you know.
It helps too if you actually have everyone drinking with you, and then people don't.
Well, that's the other thing is usually Stephanie and I have these very incredibly long pauses where a topic will come up and one of us will banter for about 3 seconds. And so sits there silently with their mouth closed. And you know that it's a moment of, well, we went there. Yeah. So.
We call it passion moments. It's not a bad thing. We've all absolutely been there. Sadly, when you're on the radio, you have like an 18-second timestamp and you got to get into the song. So you got to like cram your passion into 18 seconds, Stephanie.
It's called Cram Your Passion. That should be another podcast. I love that idea.
Yes. That's one with all 3 of us, though. That's that one has
I've been trying to cram my business into these elastic waistband pants for all of COVID. So.
Oh my goodness. So have y'all been, though, like trying to get out and enjoy it? Like I personally, since everything's been shut down, I've enjoyed a plethora of boat days, paddleboarding days. I have like gotten a full dose of the nature of Southwest Florida, and it is amazing. The water's cleaner. There are more animals out and about. Oh, it's just like, it's like what you want to see in like the visitor tourist pictures, you know? So have you guys gotten out and about?
Steph, she's been
well, I'll leave. I've been out and about a little bit more, I think, because my husband and I have taken our bikes out to we've been out to Sanibel, but we've been out to Sanibel and Captiva and ridden our bikes. We leave tomorrow. We're going to go out to Fort Myers Beach and stay. We're taking our Airstream out there and get some beach time. So I'm looking forward to that and getting out of these 4 walls. So
take your cat on walks.
Take the kitty cat on what she's got. You know what, that she did so well with that last year, but now she's got joint. She's 22 going on 23. So
she should have died a long time ago. And what Stephanie does is she has people come take care of her when she leaves.
Yeah.
So I just think that's the rudest thing in the world, because you know that cat's going to die on somebody else's dime. So I'm laughing because she's getting ready to
healthy. Chelsea, I took her to the vet.
Healthy. This ragabond cat looks like a piece of hell.
Listen to me. I took her to the vet.
She ain't got no one tooth in her mouth.
No, she has all the teeth. She has every single tooth. She has all the teeth. And even the vet said,
those are calluses or something.
No, they're teeth. Todd thinks she's a witch. She says, I don't understand why she stayed alive this long. And she has no health issues whatsoever. None.
23?
You should see her coat. It looks like.
Well, I've seen pictures of her cat. And she talked to the psychic, the animal psychic that I know too.
I did.
And
the animal psychic, the animal psychic was the one who told me to take her for walks. She did better on the walk last year. And I did. And I took her. But now she's a little bit slower this year, I'm afraid.
Because she's kind of dead.
She's not dead. She's perfectly fine.
Well, I mean, if you want,
poor
she'll
cat
not get bigger than a cat, Stephanie.
Aw.
See, dogs are too much maintenance for me.
Yeah,
This
dogs
one?
are funny. I love a dog, but I don't think I can have a dog. What kind of dog is that? Is that a hot dog?
Yes. So she is a Yorkie mini Schnauzer mix.
She's
Somebody
really cute.
was giving her away for free on Craigslist or on Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
And I was
So
coming
she's
back,
a Yorkie
A York-
Schnauzer.
mix, Yorkie mini Schnauzer. She's only 4 pounds.
Are you
8
fostering
weeks.
her? Or are you going to keep her?
No. She goes to her foster tonight, actually. I'm just a short-term foster. She likes to have a party at 5 o'clock in the morning, and Aunt Chelsea likes to sleep at 5 o'clock in the morning. And so do Aunt Chelsea's dogs. So, but no, and plus we have 3 dogs, so we're totally tapped
You're
out.
dogged out.
Yeah, but no, I was coming back from Clearwater Beach. We went up to visit some friends that were down from Indiana, and my rescue friend Carrie called me, and she was like, can you take this puppy last minute? And she sends me this picture, and I was like, sure, bring her to my house.
Yep.
I will
Sold.
totally play with this puppy. So obviously I'm trying to find a friend that I know to personally adopt this puppy, Darla with Doghouse Rescue Academy, because
So cute.
I have to see this puppy obviously grow up. I mean, come on, guys. This
That's
is
a really
baby.
cute puppy. How old is that puppy?
8 weeks old and a terrorist.
Aw.
She's so evil, and she loves to bite, but she's been super good. She's been like the best podcast host. So
She sounds like she's going to need a very special home.
right, somebody that's home a lot and likes little dogs that are terrorists. She runs around the backyard and eats all my plants. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
And I have a whole bowl of pet grass for her. So
Oh,
I just love that, like, when all this COVID stuff started happening, everybody was like, let me adopt a dog. You would not believe how many applications we got in the rescue. And I was like, what are you going to do when COVID ends, man?
right.
So you got to go back to work. What's going to happen?
Craziness. Yeah, we were seeing a lot of that, and a lot of people got dogs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I'm home. This is a great time to train a dog. So, you know, we saw a lot of that. I think when this ends, they're going to be like, what was I thinking? So how have you done with all of your beauty regime? Because we do talk about that on our show, Chelsea. Like,
okay.
Are you finding that you miss any of your, you know, your hairdresser? I mean, obviously you have long flowy hair, so you don't really, that's not a big issue. And you're a little younger than us, so I don't think you have the gray hair issue we have.
A lot younger than women.
We have many issues.
No, I have issues. Yes, I have long flowy hair. My hair is not supposed to be this long. It
looks
so thick,
beautiful.
it's so coarse, and it's like, it's heavy. So I am so ready to get back to my salon, and I'm very particular about who cuts my hair. It took me a long time to find my stylist. So it's like the one thing I'm a super bitch about. Like I've made like 3 stylists cry. I swear to God. It's awful. But I'm super ready to get back and like get my hair done. I'm ready to get a pedicure. I've been really needing one of those. Like
I've got Fred Flintstone feet.
I used to get my lashes done too. I had a friend that does lashes, and I had my lashes done for a while. Once the allergies kicked in, though, I think I'm going to try the magnetic ones. They look so
try
good.
them.
I'll tell you, these are the 9 to 5s. What is it? Something
Easy.
beauty.
Go to Facebook and go to Easy Beauty with Kelly.
Okay. Oh,
Easy
no.
Beauty
I know
with Kelly.
Absolutely.
And she's just a great gal. And these are the 9 to 5s.
Yes, and she does the doggy and horse massage.
Yeah, you know Kelly. Yeah,
she's a doggy
good
massage.
too. Yeah.
She's
Her
just a
husband
great
is
chick.
a chef. How do you not follow people like that?
Yeah.
I mean, how can you?
They were great kids.
I mean, she is like living the life of Riley with him.
She
in the house.
is. She is.
Man, he is cooking up a storm.
That's what we've been doing a lot of too. I love to cook, and my boyfriend loves to grill, and he fishes all the time. So we've
that's great.
Snapper tacos last night for dinner.
Have you suffered with the quarantine 15 or no? Have you? Yeah. I know 2 people who have lost weight during quarantine. My
mother.
Yeah.
My mother. She went to the doctor yesterday, Stephanie, and they told her she was 14 pounds thinner than last year at this time.
Way.
Between the booze and the food, there's just been absolutely no way. As awful as that sounds, I mean.
I'm telling you, I look like I just went to college. I am like, this has been the worst thing. And I wasn't good to start with. And I'm telling you, this was and remember the first week we did this stuff and I said, ooh, let's get into our beach bodies. I was like, we're going to use this time for our beach buddies. Oh, maybe we should just do online happy hour.
Yeah.
Right. So
I
much
have
better.
to unveil my beach body tomorrow at the beach, and that's not going to be pretty at all.
You do?
Oh,
I would not unveil anything right now.
Oh, it's
everybody's
for-
body looks
Everyone
that way.
like me,
Ooh.
you know. Well, no, it's
Yeah.
true. I mean,
The beach gets the body I give it. That's what I've been saying. I'm like,
Exactly.
normally if you have a few cocktails, you don't care what you look like anyway.
exactly.
I
I'm
will
always
say
fully dressed at the beach.
the beaches have been really good, especially like in those more private spots, like of not having a lot of people around. So I personally, like, I have actually liked going to the beach because I basically have a whole beach to myself. So I know that people are seeing all these pictures on social media. They're not real. I mean, some spots are like that, but we're not at those spots. Those are college kids.
Yeah, I never went to those spots anyway. I mean, those are never spots I ever went to. Even when I was that age, that was not my scene. But I will say, we have gone to the beach on Sanibel a couple of times where we've, put up a tent and literally not seen more than 4 other people walk by us to Shell. So it's been really nice. Yeah.
Let's just keep telling people that we get more cases so that way they don't just like visit down here for like a year. Just a year, but because I know we need the tourists.
I did see that today that, a lot of people are leaving metropolitan areas and big cities that are deciding to live in, the South and moving to places where they would rather be when something like this happens. And I just want to, say, oh, don't come here.
Right. I like where we live. We live right on a canal and we have like all kind of retirees. So nobody gets out a lot. It's not a very loud neighborhood.
Oh, that's great.
This has not been a terrible place to be locked down. And then of course, like you guys, I started doing this and this has been a really fun thing to do. And then it's kind of just snowballed. I had Alyssa LeMay on. I 100% recommend y'all having her on. She's phenomenal.
Let's do it.
Have you been to her drag queen bingo?
I've interviewed Alyssa.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I thought you said Alyssa Milano. So I was like, you have Alyssa Milano on?
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Let's have Who's the Boss on. I'm so into this. Yes, I've been to drag queen bingo and that's a great idea, Stephanie. OMG.
Yeah, I've interviewed her a couple times for different publications. So she would be a lot of fun. She definitely would be.
Oh my God, please invite me that day that y'all have her
on.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So much fun. And we didn't even do the video part and just even talking to her on the phone. Absolutely. Riot.
I'm telling you right now, we should even play bingo with our guests out there in the Neverlands. I don't know how we could, but we should.
Not safe for kids. Make sure you put that up there.
Not safe for kids, right? Yeah, I figured.
Well, all right, ladies. So let everybody know how to watch Homebound Happy Hour. Thank you so much for being on. Tell them where they can find you.
Steph?
Sure. You're going to go to Facebook and go to Homebound Happy Hour. We have our own Facebook page there. And we broadcast live every Tuesday from 5:30 to 6:30, unless we start drinking a whole lot. And then we go over because we're just like last week. Was it last week or the week before? I cut my hair. Because I
at the very end, Stephanie cut her hair.
I was under influence. It's still right here.
It is. She keeps it there.
Keep a reminder not to do it again.
It's literally, it's like, well, maybe 2 inches. Anyway, so Homebound Happy Hour every Tuesday, 5:30 to 6:30. And next week we will have Dawn Desak, and I believe Gina B also is going to join her.
Great.
I think Dawn's going to talk about the cheese and Gina's going to talk about the wine. So
perfect.
I will tune in.
And then if you're not able to join us during that time, you can go down below and watch any of our previous shows. They're all there.
All right. Well, thank you ladies again for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Let's do one more cheers.
Cheers.
I am Chelsea. This is my coffee. This has been Coffee with Chelsea, a podcast.